road to recovery is not that simple. Hello everybody, Tom here. I hope you're well. Today I want to talk about how we can become very sort of stuck on a way of getting over our issues. And what has brought around this video is that whenever I've had moments in my life when I've found it difficult and I've perhaps reached out, and even when I haven't, there's always somebody out there that thinks they know the answer to your problems. Before I start, I don't want anyone to think that I'm bashing anybody here for having the decency to try and help somebody. It's fantastic that there are those that will offer support and try and signpost people and point them in the right direction. But what we must understand is very simply really this. Not everybody is going to find the comfort and the direction through the means that you did. And I will elaborate on this. A few years back, a good few years ago, for those of you that know me personally, I used to dance. I was a dancer. I was a break dancer, believe it or not. It's hard to believe, isn't it? This geeky looking man was actually someone who used to dance. So yeah, I was a break dancer and I was in a crew, and we had all sorts of people come through the door over the time I was in there. And one particular guy that joined was an older guy. He was a born again Christian. And again, I don't mean anybody who is religious any disrespect. I believe in God. I wouldn't say I live a very pure and religious life, not at all. But I do believe in God, but I don't go around preaching to people. However, not everybody can do that. This particular individual had a very troubled life. He was going on a bad path. He drank a lot, and he was doing drugs, and he was ravaging his body, and he was very close to death. Thankfully, he didn't die, which I'm grateful for. His life, obviously, never pushed that on anybody. He survived, and in his survival, he found God, he found Jesus, which for him was what was needed. It was needed for him. He needed that direction. He needed that purpose, yeah? However, because it had been such a great thing for him, he became very, very determined that it was the same for everybody, and that everybody had to follow his path and his way. I'm sorry, but whether he meant it in the right way or not, that is not the case. Not everybody needs the counselling you had. Not everybody needs the therapy you had. And I think sometimes when you've recovered from something bad, probably you feel you want to help another individual, which is really commendable. You think that the way that you got to where you were is the only way and the best way. And I'm here to tell you that it's not. Even if you believe in your heart of hearts that there's value in what was discussed, in what therapy you took, it doesn't mean that it's going to work for everybody. And I know that's very hard for a lot of people to accept, but it's a fact. I meditate daily, you know. That doesn't mean that it's going to stop every level of anxiety. I can tell you now it doesn't and won't, okay? I've managed to get to a stage where it's worked for me, and I'm really grateful for it. But some people just can't sit still, and they can't centre themselves or stop their breath or do whatever it is they need to get into that meditative state. And their minds are running like a crazy hamster on a wheel. So I would never say that's the way you've got to do it, because it's not the case. You've got to respect that sometimes people have to find their own way, and sometimes people have to save themselves. They can't have you being the one to save them. What they need is you to be there when they save themselves. See? This guy meant well. He wanted everybody to benefit from Jesus and God's love the way that he did. And absolutely, I'm glad that he managed to sort himself out, get back on the straight and narrow, and have a better life than the one he was going to have. But that doesn't mean that everybody is going to go down the same route. But to hear him speak, he wouldn't have it. And he was very aggressive with it, actually, and almost forcing it on you, which I don't agree with either. But, bless him, he got major benefit out of it. Therapy is not for everyone. I've been to counselling and therapy, and my first experience of it was horrific. It didn't help me at all. It didn't make me feel more positive. It didn't make me feel like I was moving in a good direction. It just made me feel that what I already had heard, that the mental health system in this country is completely broken and not fit for purpose. I just felt like someone was just having a go at me for basically feeling the way I did, which is not what I need and what I didn't need at that time 100%. See, not everybody will react positively to that. So, as I said, while some people will wax lyrical about a certain way that helped them recover from whatever it is they're struggling with, not everyone will be getting to the same place as you. Okay? Please remember this, and do not be offended when somebody perhaps doesn't take your advice and go down that route. Because sometimes the only way to get sort of better is to discover it for yourself, or to go down your own path. Respect people when they want to do this, and don't feel bad or be annoyed with them for not going down the route you took. Alright? That's the message here today. This is my first of 3 videos this week. I want to say thank you all ever so much for listening. I really appreciate your time and energy spent here on my channel. Thank you. First of 3, as I said, put down in the comment section below, have you ever experienced somebody who, having come through the other side of a very bad ordeal, was so determined that it's the only way to go, that they were almost like trying to sell it to you? It is a commendable thing, but it's also not a good thing. As long as you can accept that not everybody will want your help and not everybody wants to go down the same route, you're going to be fine. Remember to hit that subscribe button down below, please. Leave me a thumbs up and a like if you could. And remember to hit that bell sign so you know my next content's out, please. I really appreciate you all for being here. Thank you ever so much for listening. I'll be back in a couple of days with another video, but until then, please take care of yourselves, all of you. Thank you. Bye for now.